Hello guys, my name is Armin. In today's episode, Learning Revit, I want to go over everything about the walls. This is part one, which we'll go through systems, like what does it mean when we say wall is a system. We're going to talk about the grouping. We can also talk about the properties of the wall, what is available for us in a property browser that we need to look at. We can talk about all of those line items in Revit when you click on the wall and you can see it on the property panel. You can kind of do the offsets, change the base, change the height of the wall. We can go over all of those in this part. Hope that you guys enjoyed. If yes, please make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
In today's episode, Learning Revits, we want to take a look at walls. So walls are located under the architecture panel, or basically architecture tab, build panel, and you can see the walls over here. One note is that walls are systems. So we know there's a difference between systems and components. So walls are part of systems. It means Revit give you the ability to draw a wall. Revit created that system, and you cannot save a partial element on the wall. If you have an exterior wall that has a different layer, has a, let's say, brick, insulation, stud, and a few more layers, you cannot separate those one by one, right? Doesn't You cannot get those components and save them. That's why it called system. That like floor, like ceilings, roof, those are systems that you can see. It's under the architecture panel and then under build. So you cannot save element, a partial element of the system. Like let's say I want to have the family for these installation. You can create installation separately and save it as a family. But if you use a system like a wall using Revit that basically give you everything, you can adjust those layers, but you cannot save the layer by itself. So just want to make sure you guys are aware that we are working with the system, we are working with the wall, and then basically whose systems are something that can be drawn, but inner elements cannot be saved as a separate entity or separate family, right? So, what I want to kind of show you guys when I click on the wall, basically you can see immediately these properties panel is going to change, and there is basically a different group that we have over here. So one of them is the actual walls right here. We have basic walls. They have like a bunch of concrete, exterior, foundation. And when you come scroll down, you can see curtain walls and also you can see stacked wall. So the stacked wall are basically you can use these feature to put a different type of wall that you want stack them vertically on top of each other. You can create something that you don't have. So it's just basically self-explanatory stack wall. You can use all of these walls, stack them on top of each other. But if you want to have that type of wall, you need to go to this portion. If you just want to get any of these wall and work through them basically, and then adjust the layers and then use one type of wall, you go to the basic walls. So this is just want to make sure you have these three different groups when you select walls. So one main thing when you select the wall, immediately you can see a few kind of options or features on top, right? I want to first start with the chain. It's basically simple one. If I want to select any type of wall, I have the chain on. It means I can, just draw everything following each other is a chain. And if you don't want to do the chain, you basically can go back, uncheck the box, and basically you're done with the wall and it stops. Right. So I have to select where I want to do it. It's not going to start from the end that I have to chain. If I want to start from here, then basically just go from there. Right. So you can see basically I create one, stopped. Then I can kind of get it, start from different point, and it doesn't have these chains. So I would recommend have the chain on. This is going to be a great um, features to it. The next one that is really, really, really important is the wall line. So if you do these drop down, you can see a different version of the wall. So let me just get a little bit closer and get a different wall that has different layers. Let me go to, let's say, this one. So if I select the center wall, just look at, let me adjust this for you as well, so you can kind of see the element. So you can see where my cursor is and the line in the center. So that's basically shows that the wall that I have has a center line. So I'm drawing these walls, you can see based on the center line of those walls. It's going to connect all of them. And then my cursor is at the center of it. So if I go to the different wall, let's say I want to check the finish face exterior. Now I want to do this. See where my cursor is right now. You can see that dotted blue line. It's basically on the exterior of the wall. And whenever I clicked on, you can see how it connects those wall to each other. So it's going to be the exterior of the wall where that line is. So basically it's going to give you these different options that you can modify where your center line of the wall is. And you might ask, okay, so it doesn't matter, whatever that the line is, but it's going to affect you when you want to change a thickness. So it will change these lines. When you want to change the thickness of the wall, it will change its location depending on which location line parameter value we choose, right? So I propose I always use these finish face exterior. The reason is if I want to add something, it's not going to go outside of my building perimeter, because no matter what type of wall I'm going to add to these later on, because I'm selecting these wall, you can see if I hover even over this, you can see where it shows the wall goes. So if I go here, this wall is a center line. So if I want to change the thickness, it's going to increase the thickness on both side of the wall. So I'm going outside of the building. But if I want to change the thickness of this and bring inside, that's what this one helps. So basically this is going to give me that ability to just be outside. You can see the line right here. So let me just do it directly from where it is. So right now, this line is basically on the exterior of the wall. So if I want to add the thickness to this wall, if I select this wall and add the thickness, so the wall is not going to grow outside, it's going to grow inside, right? So you guys see how basically that line is going to help you maintain a proper thickness or the boundary of the area that you draw. If it's a building and you have an exterior wall, if you want to change the thickness of the wall, it's not going to grow from the outside, it's going to grow from the inside. If you have a wall center line, it's going to grow on both sides, which is going to change the perimeter of your building. So pay attention when you select a wall. What is the purpose? How you want to do it? And basically, how would you like to kind of adjust the wall? If it grows, is you want to grow it towards the inside or you want to grow towards the outside of the building? So I want to basically just select this wall. Has some of these properties that I want to talk to you about and basically tell you. So I think for these to better understand, let me go to any of the elevation. It doesn't matter. Let me go to north. So let me just go to the north of elevation, and we have like a different walls. Let me delete this ones. Okay, these are all the walls that we have. I can just delete all of this. Let's go back here. Okay. So you guys can see we have two levels, level 1 and level 2, one of them at 0, 0, one of them at 12. So if I select any wall, let's say I want to select this wall, it basically, we know the center line we did talk about, also the base constraint. So this base constraint is what level wall starts, right? And then top constraint, what level wall stops, right? So if I want to start my level 1 bottom base constraint, I select level 1. And right now, when I selected this wall, it basically says top constraint unconnected. So it means it doesn't have any constraint to what area or what level in the Revit I can connect my wall to. So in order to get these work, I have to say, okay, the height for these unconnected, let's say 20 feet, right? But if I want to change this one, so if I have like a many levels, you guys, obviously have many levels over here. But let's say I want to constrain these higher. I don't want to unconnect it. I want to be connected to 12 feet level 2, right? So I select L2, and if I move it over here, it's going to take a minute. You can see this piece right here is adjusted to the level, and you can see how important the levels are for us to adjust to it with our elements. So if I select this one, you can see this is connected. So if I want to change this to 15 feet, so if I, let's say, let me just get rid of this one. Let's just type 15 feet. So you can see basically it's coming down. So we have different portion of the wall. These are unconnected 20 feet. This is unconnected 15 feet. And this one right here, the elevation is connected to level 2. So apart from these two, you have base offset and top offset. So we know we did talk about that with the constraint, you connect the height of the wall to the lower level and an upper level, right? But sometimes you want to go a little bit below the level. So in order to tell Revit how much you can go below one level or above one level, you can use the base and top offset. So basically gives you ability to add plus or minus height to the wall to start and finish with respect to the levels that you have, right? So look at the base right here. So I'm going to go over here and simply just put like 1 foot, let's say. Let's just put minus 1 foot. So if I move it over here, you can see it grows. So this is level 1, and basically this one goes minus. So I just want to show you from the base, if you want to go below and can it go below, let's say your level 1 and connect to the footing, you could put add minus. And for the top one, if I grow my wall, just put 1 foot, right? So if I put 1 foot over here, let me just type 1 foot, and then you can see it grows 1 foot above that level. So this is my wall we talked about. Right now I'm adjusting the offset for the top and bottom. I did adjust the height of it basically for the elevation. And this is kind of giving me that opportunity to adjust my wall. So the good thing is right here, you guys have, even if you miss drawing a wall, you'll be able to go through the properties and adjust. But if you are sure what type of wall you want to do, and the reason that I just wanted to kind of show you guys what needs to be done, you need to kind of go back over here. At one note, I just want to make sure. So if you guys in the elevation mode, and I keep clicking on the wall, is not gonna, because you cannot draw the walls in the elevation mode, right? So you need to be in the floor plan. So just make sure you go to the floor plan and then select the wall. You can see on top, you can adjust the height if it's unconnected. You can do it to level 1. So this is grayed out, right? So because anything that you draw on this plan is gonna connect. We did talk about, we select the face and interior. The chain is good. We don't want any offset because we want everything connect to it. So this one, and also if there's going to be any radius when you connect them to kind of continue that, you can check this. And then the joints, right? So if you want to allow to have really nice joints like this, you can yes allow, and then let's just say right disallow so you can see what it looks like. So you can see how it looks like when you disallow it. So I would recommend just make sure you have these on allow, because this allow it's not gonna like basically create that joint and how to connect walls to each other when you go from the corners. But this one is basically giving you a really good way to do it. So This is going to be really, really easy on the walls on how to draw them, how to change the properties, how to select them. And then, like the other areas that you want, you can kind of have all of these tools at your service to draw any type of wall with any different radius, any kind of shape, form would be do it. But the main thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, all of these features and the properties are really, really important and how to do it first time and you avoid rework. Hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.